Welcome to the Explainer. So today we're really going to try and get inside the mind of Jake Paul. We're drawing on a deep content analysis by Dr. Ronnie Rodas to uncover the blueprint that took him from social media prankster to, well, a media mogul. We're going to tackle three big questions. Was this all part of some master plan from the start? What is his actual end game? And is the insane physical punishment he's taking really worth the financial reward? I mean, talk about a bold claim, right? This was him promising the world he'd take down a legit two-time heavyweight world champion. You could say this was the absolute peak of his athletic ambition. But here's the thing. He lost, badly. And yet, if you look at the bigger picture, which is exactly what Dr. Rodas's analysis does, that loss is almost just a footnote in a much, much larger story. So yeah, that brings us right to the big questions Dr. Rodas wanted to tackle. How on earth did this social media prankster even get in that ring? Was this the plan from day one? And now, after getting his jaw broken, what's next for him? Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so to figure out if he had this grand vision from the beginning, we've got to rewind. Let's go all the way back to his early days on Vine and YouTube, because that's where the whole problem child character was really born. And this is where things get really interesting. Right from the get-go, his vision was way bigger than just becoming famous himself. He was building a machine, a system to literally manufacture influence. Team 10, it wasn't just a bunch of YouTubers hanging out. It was a content factory designed from the ground up to game the algorithm. You probably remember this time, right? The summer of 2017 was pure chaos. But the key takeaway here is that none of this was random. It wasn't just a kid acting out. Every single controversy, every angry neighbor, every disliked video, it was all building blocks for his brand. He was constructing the problem child persona right in front of our eyes, making himself impossible to ignore. And behind all that public-facing chaos, well, here's the engine room. While everyone was watching the pranks, this was happening in the background. A venture-funded company with a super clear revenue model. This is some of the best evidence we have that even back then, there was a serious, calculated strategy at play. All right, so he's built this massive social media empire. His brand is all about controversy. And then he does something nobody, and I mean nobody, saw coming. He pivots, and he takes that entire disruptive playbook with him right into the world of professional boxing. And let's be clear, this wasn't just some random hobby he picked up. This was a hostile takeover, a strategic disruption. He didn't just walk into boxing. He kicked the door down, dragging his massive, drama-loving audience right in with him. And look at the opponents. Each one was carefully chosen to create the most buzz, the most drama, and the most views. $267 million. Just let that sink in. That's the number Paul himself said the Joshua fight generated. If you ever needed proof that this pivot was a massive financial success, well, there it is. He proved you could turn an online following into an insane amount of pay-per-view cash. Which, of course, brings us to that second big question, is it worth it? Is all that money worth the physical punishment? And honestly, the Joshua fight gives us the clearest answer yet. Look at this. This slide lays it out perfectly. It's the ultimate gamble, right? On one side, you have the risk, a double broken jaw, his first real stoppage loss, needing serious surgery. But on the other side, the reward is just astronomical. A $92 million purse, a net worth of $200 million, a main event on Netflix. It's insane. And this wasn't just a sore jaw. The aftermath was brutal. We're talking hospitalization, surgery, titanium plates being put in his face, teeth removed, a liquids-only diet. This isn't a game. It's a really high-stakes, high-damage business. It really makes you question how long someone can keep doing this. So that's the big question, isn't it? Where does he go from here? Does he just keep getting punched in the face for money? Well, to answer that, let's look at what he's building outside the ring. This is where we start to see his true future vision. Okay, so first up is Most Valuable Promotions, or MVP. This is a huge tell. His goal is shifting. He doesn't just want to be the main event anymore, he wants to own the main event. He's building his own institution. And what's interesting is he's using it to promote other fighters, especially in women's boxing, challenging the whole system. And then there's better. See the pattern here? He's not just playing the game now. He's building the casino where the game is played, bet on, and watched. It's a direct pipeline to that younger Gen Z audience he spent years building. It's a brilliant vertical integration move. But honestly, this might be the biggest piece of the puzzle right here. Anti-Fund, a venture capital firm. He's moving from being a celebrity to being an institutional investor. He's using his fame, his cultural power, as a launchpad for tech startups. This is a whole different level. And just look at where the money is going. We're not talking about merch companies here. We're talking OpenAI, Enderil, that's defense tech, WAMP. These are huge foundational technology plays. This is the blueprint for a real, diversified, long-term empire. The endgame is so much bigger than boxing. So when you put it all together, what have we learned? Well, Dr. Rada's analysis paints a pretty clear picture. The journey started with a vision for total dominance of the YouTube algorithm. Then he pivoted that fame into athletic disruption. And now it looks like he's evolving into a position of real institutional power. The boxing? It seems like it was a calculated, maybe even temporary phase to get the capital he needed for this final act. So this really seems to be the blueprint, right? Step 1, build a giant controversy-fueled audience online. Step 2, take that audience and crash a traditional high-money industry like boxing. Step 3, take the physical hits to get the maximum cash and media spotlight. And then, the final move, step 4, use all that cash and fame to build long-term ownership. It's a wild ride, but it seems to answer our questions. There was always a plan, and it just kept evolving. So that leaves us with one last question. What is Jake Paul's final form? Is he an athlete, an entrepreneur, or the architect of a totally new kind of celebrity empire? Well, based on everything we've seen, the answer is probably all of the above. The problem child might have been an act, but the mogul is very, very real. He's basically writing a whole new playbook for how you build influence and turn it into institutional power in this day and age. The real question is, who's going to be brave enough to try and follow that blueprint next? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.